It's a good win. There's a lot of people. It's like Woodstock, except everybody's got their clothes on.
But eat a damn snack.
You're like my wife when you get in space. You just get lost.
It's ahead! Short steps are better than long steps. That's the only time in your life you're going to hear short is better than long. It's ahead!
My guys, how are we doing? Fresh off the state coaches clinic. It was great to see everybody there. Welcome back to 614 Headsets, the spot where we say we're strategy that meets story, man, right? We try to keep this a coaching clinic every week, but make it fun, someplace you want to be at. We're three high school coaches from Columbus, Ohio, committed to bringing you football content that's both entertaining and educational. And it feels good. I feel like we're back in a roll, and it feels good now that we kind of got a few episodes back under us in season 4. So how's it been, Ryan? Have you recovered? Apparently, everybody said Thursday night you and I got a little wild. Have we recovered from the state clinic?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Here's the thing. I thought the state clinic this year was the best in 6 years, honest to God. I thought it was the best speakers, and I thought that there was the most amount of people there that were able to engage. And I honestly, at one point when I was walking through that little main section, I felt like I literally couldn't even get through there.
It definitely seemed the most packed in a while, especially like people like hanging around and being there. And, kudos to everybody a part of the association, like Big Bad Brad and Nate and everybody, putting together a good slate.
I thought they did a really good job of just having great coaches on there. And honestly, I mean, it's just a blast. Great weekend and stuff. Great time for us as a new staff. I was able to go and hit a few of those vendors. Like I was telling you, Kyle, I feel like I was just down there trying to hustle my way through there and get a few things on sale.
Pockets felt deep for the first time. Felt a little deep pockets. I was running around. Donnie, you weren't there because you weren't there at the clinic this year, but anytime I saw a Licking Heights guy just yelled, "Show me your stinger." You know what I mean? But Donnie, man, how's sleep training? How's life? Tell us, fill us in.
Sleep training's been good. No more, hour and a half, 2 hour rocking at night. It's been real good. Wife went back to work this week, so it's been an adjustment, but
tough transition.
Yeah.
The back to work transition.
Yeah, we got grandma for a week or so, and then I'm with her next week, and then it's off to daycare. So it's going to be nice and fun around here.
This dude, Donnie's had more help than I've ever heard a person have help with a child, and I love it for him.
He looks a little fresher. He looks a little fresher under the eyes right now. I can tell you that
he looked fresh. I will tell you, he looked fresh Thursday night at the clinic. Unlike Kyle, did not look fresh in that lobby.
Kyle looked fresh at the beginning of the night. Post end of the night, Kyle did yeah, I agree.
The Kyle that I got to experience at the end of the clinic was not the one for it was not it.
But the many versions of Kyle is what everybody appreciates, right? I'm not going to lie, Ryan. I don't know if things worked its way back to you, but I basically was telling – who's the head coach at Heath? Who's the head coach at Heath?
Tim Ward.
I told Tim Ward and some other people that you were running around in the lobby saying you're going to whoop that ass and all this other stuff because I really wanted to see if it would get back to you. I was an agent of chaos, man. I was an agent of chaos on Thursday night and Friday morning. But yeah, Donovan looked a little, got that zombie look to him in those first seasons. He looks a little better, so we're glad to see that.
Last week was a long week, man. That long weekend was needed. It was perfect. President's Day was awesome.
That's right, man. The good Lord provides right when you need it. But hey, just a couple other things I want to let you know, man. Make sure you subscribe to the show. Things have been growing. A lot of different people have been reaching out about the different things and endeavors we've been doing, and we really appreciate that. We'd like to know what's working well and get some feedback. Should we continue with that or not? So if you haven't yet, take a moment, take out your phone, subscribe, download, leave us a review. Those are all things that grow the show and grow and celebrate all the things about the guests and the beauty of Central Ohio football and things we've got going on. Make sure, if you haven't done it yet, right, take a look at First and Goal magazine, man. We've got 3 copies of it out right now. Issue 3 just dropped. I just got a couple emails from some people saying that they're loving it and saying keep it up. So that's great to hear. If you're looking for that, just hop on any of our socials and you'll find the links. It's linked in Linktree in our bios, and it's on the website, 614headsets.com. Check that out. Donovan, tell us a little bit what we got going on tonight. What's episode 92 about?
We got an episode with Aaron Spragg, the owner of Storied Rivals Sports Media. Obviously, you guys know them in Central Ohio. We got a great discussion.
I'm definitely saying something about the setup of this ad read to Aaron as well, because I kind of went over it as well, like the way that it's set up, and asked an English teacher. One of my co-teachers teaches the English side for IEPs and special ed, but he said that's a tough statement. That's a very tough sentence to read, the way that it's set up with the period and all that. So I feel
I'll read it perfect tonight, and you can send that copy of that.
No. I've done a great job, but at the same time, I don't believe that it's set up for greatness. But that's just all I'm saying.
I'm only one man on the show, so if anybody else would like to join, we could do that. But Donovan, go ahead. What do we got? Episode 92, the premiere, really the OGs of building a brand and content, Storied Rivals.
Yep, we're going to look really all things with Storied Rivals with brand promotion, right? The story of that company, what it's looked like across Central Ohio, even outside of Central Ohio a little bit, and really kind of taking a trip back maybe through some of the best moments that he's seen through this company's history, because there's been a unique perspective on Central Ohio football over the last decade or so. So definitely a great episode for episode 92.
I don't think there is a person or company that has had more access to teams in football. I'm still waiting for the blooper reel to come out one day, and I hope it does. So let's get into episode 92, Leave a Legacy. Let's roll.
Super excited for this episode, guys. We have our guy from Storied Rivals, Aaron Spragg, on. Coach. I'm gonna call you Coach throughout the entire time, just because it's so natural.
I thought about that too. Coach is gonna come out a lot.
It's gonna be impossible not to be not say Aaron, or it's just gonna be Coach a lot of times. But for you, man, talk about your journey. It's been a wild one, obviously, for you, and how long you've been doing it and how long you've been involved with Storied Rivals. Just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, man. I mean, I definitely couldn't coach anything. I call myself like a super fan. I watch how all you guys coach and appreciate what you guys do, but I could not coach. But Storied Rivals, for anyone watching, I mean, we're a media company. We're producing, I don't even like to call them highlight films, because it's not a highlight film, but it's not a documentary, somewhere in between. We call them unreal highlights, but we're documenting seasons for teams, games for teams, to create memories that these kids and coaches can remember a special time in their lives. That's the underlying principle of what we're trying to do. We've existed since 2008, 2026, closing in on 20 years, which is nuts. Been doing it full time since 2013. But really, it started with an idea of, would people want to document their season in a highly professional way? I come from a TV background. My first dream was to be on SportsCenter, studied journalism, did the TV gig thing, did broadcasting, loved it. But it was time to do something different. And how could I do something in sports on my terms that was kind of different, that can maybe change the game? And so far, we've done a little bit of that. We've created a product that I think is unique, that we created from scratch. It's not something we copied from somebody. We just kind of made it how we wanted to make it. And you see the results on YouTube probably by now in 2026. We're filming almost 300 games a season with a full-time staff of about 10 people, full-time people. This is their full-time job, including myself. This is what we do all day, every day. And that's basically a really, really brief synopsis of what Storied Rivals is. We have a big social media following on all of our platforms. Our website is absolutely trash. I don't think it works, to be honest. So please, if you're watching this, you're like, Storied Rivals, go to our social media and see. We need to rebuild all that stuff, because
it's hard to find. It's hard to find. Yeah, just
right.
Go to the socials.
Yeah, we need to rebuild the website. Funny story. I don't think many people know this. I actually paid a company a down payment of like $7,000 to build a website, and I ghosted them. I got too busy to even work with them. So I lost $7,000 to build a website that never got built. And that's on me, right? But we just stay so busy. And honestly, I mean, the marketing, the growing of the business from the video side has all come from word of mouth. So we've stayed really busy, especially through fall and football. Football's our bread and butter, covering 25 to 28 teams, filming that many games every Friday night. So it's been a fun journey, and hopefully people have enjoyed the product we've continued to put out. I think it's really unique, and I think it's enjoyable, and I think it's a real asset to football programs everywhere.
Yeah, I'll say you talked about you make memories for the kids. I showed you this before we started recording. You guys did it when I was a junior in 2014, 12 years ago, and I got all those memories from when I was playing at Gahanna, now coaching at Gahanna. So it's definitely a real thing that I definitely appreciate as somebody went through the process.
How embarrassing that you have a highlight tape of you just getting absolutely destroyed all the time. So I hope you don't hit play on that in front of your wife and everybody else or your future kids. But
I showed her the one where what was it, 2015?
Stop! Don't even say this lie. How you beat me when I was a head coach and it was lucky by 7 points. But
here's
it was
the
a
thing,
mental
though.
blowout.
But Aaron and those guys were at Ohio Dominican a lot, like when
we were there,
all their stuff. So that was. You guys have always been around, done a great job in like Central Ohio, and we appreciate your work.
You can't undersell it. That, like literally, Storied Rivals has literally built a concept and a market in this surrounding area before it was a big thing, and still is like the kingfish. You know what I mean? And it's just cool to talk about.
What you said before, like we got on the show that you were doing it before it was cool.
Yeah, man. I mean. I was the only guy, dude. I was the only guy. I mean, and really, YouTube changed the game. So YouTube came out in 06, I think. And then I quit my TV career in 08 with this idea, thinking I could publish on this thing called YouTube and reach anybody for free. It has changed everything. And we were some of the first content, locally in Ohio of high school football and YouTube. And back then it didn't have music and stuff. We were just kind of posting highlights just to get them out there because the only highlights that existed were kind of news clips, and even news stations weren't posting on YouTube at that point yet. So that changed things for us to be able to get highlights out and just showcase it. And now, I mean, there's highlights everywhere, phones, fans, and everything. And that's where we continue to try to separate based off just the attention to detail we put in. And like you just talked about, the memories. That is the differentiator with what we do versus probably what everyone else tries to do. Yeah, we can produce some hype clips. Yeah, we can catch this amazing moment, like this big play, and we have all that, but it's the way we piece it together in this bone-chilling way, right? It gives you chills. That's the hope. We tell all of our editors, our determining factor, if your video was good, did it make the viewer feel something? Did it make you feel something? Did it give you chills? Did it make you excited, on the edge of your seat, anxious, mad? Because pretty much every highlight you watch that's not ours is just kind of like, that was cool, but it didn't make you feel a certain way. You got to move somebody and make them cry with emotion, whether it's a win or a loss. You got to make them feel. And we've had people tell them that. We've had people send us that message like, Storied Rivals makes you feel it.
And that's the highlight experience available, baby.
Yeah, that's right, man. I think I'd like to think that's true. And the differentiator when you talk about, are we going to hire a highlight company? And I don't even know if a lot of people hire a highlight company. It's just kind of like, yeah, we'll have someone do the highlights, but we protect your highlights in the terms of like, we know how important it is. We archive everything, guys, like decades of archives, raw footage too. We have it all saved and backed up on a server. Unfortunately, we've had a couple athletes die recently that we covered, and we were able to dig in the archives and pull out footage that even their parents had never seen. Right.
That's
so
awesome, man.
Yeah. So that's not why we do it, but it's just, our tagline, one of the taglines we use is live forever. We feel like what we do is the only way to allow a team, a player, a coach to truly live forever. Do something so memorable no one's ever going to forget. We're going to be there to capture it, and you are going to live forever. I mean, think about it, guys. I mean, you guys had that, at Gahanna, you made it to the Final Four a couple years ago. You hang that banner in the gym or the sign of the stadium. Dude, in 5 years, everyone's going to forget the faces on that team, man.
For sure.
Right? And our product is meant to capture that and be able to show these young kids later what that season was like. And boy, there are some good moments and good stories. And
I mean,
yeah, it's just fun.
There was just a time, even last season, we pulled up literally a highlight of something to spread the message and prove to our team the culture of that and to build a connect. So like, it literally was something from 2-3 years ago. You said live forever and made a connection that we still pulled up. I can't wait for this. I've been thinking about this all day. We're going to transition into the Pick Six segment. That is the Storied Rivals Pick Six segment.
Let's go.
And it's literally all this pressure on Ryan in front of the big boss to see if he can do this right. Go
This is
ahead,
a big-
Ryan.
I've been sweating about this one since I woke up this morning.
No, it's all good.
I mean, it's rode a little goofy. I ain't gonna lie. I know that obviously you guys do video. You're not much English majors over there, Aaron, right?
I mean, I did study English, to be honest.
Well,
Yeah, journalism.
I mean,
background,
that was-
brother. That's a lot of English.
we might
Go
want
ahead.
to go back.
Just
No, it's all
stop
good.
trying to protect yourself and dive right in.
No, we need to rewrite. We need to rewrite this anyway. I'll cut you some slack. We need to redo this. I get it.
The
Dive
Pick
in.
Six segment is powered by Storied Rivals Sports Media. Championships, friendships, and life lessons are among the most meaningful parts of the athletic competition. We are passionate about preserving them by offering the most unique highlight experience available.
That's right. Storied Rivals delivers your team's content with services designed to change the way you experience these unforgettable moments now and for a lifetime. Storied Rivals now offers a complete team apparel and player shop customizable to your program. You heard it from the man himself. Just reach out to them on social media. Just hit
That's
up
it,
Storied
man.
Rivals. That's where you're going to get in touch. Don't
Yeah,
touch
we're
the
working on it.
email or the website.
Well,
That's where
email
we're
can
at.
work. Yeah.
Email can work.
Email can work.
It's
It
a social
can.
media
It's not
world.
saying it will, but it
Yeah,
can.
man.
But
Yeah.
Ryan, first question. Aaron, I'm going to tell you what. We seem buttoned up and detailed. I don't know what these guys are going to ask, so I'm literally on the edge of my seat too. Go ahead, Ryan.
All right, let's do it.
Well, first question for you, Aaron. Where or what is the most electric high school environment that you've gotten to either record in or that's not a state championship, like it's at that town's, like not like being, hey, we were at Fawcett or we were at Massillon, and that was, unless it's
Right.
not playing at Massillon.
Man, it's so, I mean, to me, everything blends together. I don't know if from a football basketball, a lot of it stands out. Football with the fans away from the field sometimes. I'll tell you, you guys all coach in the OCC in the city, but I think we all probably came from small towns maybe. Donovan, you, of course, played at Gahanna. But the small town football is a different breed, right? Those people are a little different. They really pack the stands. So, yeah, I mean, the bigger the game, the bigger the rivalry. I mean, Granville and Licking Valley have had a couple wars, crosstown in the Licking County League, where the fans really heated for the league title. But, man, I'm not sure. Football.
We're coming for it.
Yeah, the Hornets, man, the new sheriffs in town, right?
Sting first, baby, huh? Show them your
Right,
sting.
man. Yeah, I mean, but like, I think you guys know every football Friday night's a different atmosphere. When we go and film football Fridays, guys, our goal is to bring back and recreate what it was like that particular night. Look, if you're playing a rival, feels different, right? If it's a blowout game, feels different. People act different. If it's a road game, feels different. How do we capture that with our cameras and then relay that back for an experience when you watch it? So every football Friday really is a good experience. There are a lot of bad games, unfortunately, and sometimes those are a little buzzkill. The vibe is definitely low, but sometimes the kids play a little more loose too, and you get a whole different atmosphere. But
I love it.
Any rivalry game is fun, guys. Get the heads cracking.
Aaron, my first question for you, neither of them be related to football. It's Winter Olympics right now. If you could be an all-time great in one Winter Olympic sport, what would it be? Which one would it be?
Dude, snowboarding is cool. The half pipe, the Shaun White stuff. I mean, I think I would feel pretty good about myself because like the other stuff is tough. I mean, I don't think in any way I would have any type of courage to do like the downhill. Like as cool as that would be to win it, even if I was good at it, I don't think I would have the courage to go down that thing like Lindsey Vonn was doing. Curling would be a cool answer, but I don't think that would be highly respected. I think the half pipe really you get some good sponsorship opportunities from that.
Yeah.
You could probably do it long in your career, like Shaun
No
White
snowboarder
did.
has a bad vibe. You're right.
Yeah.
I like that. No
Not at all.
snowboarder has a bad vibe.
Yeah. Kyle, I feel like I'm not even lying. You would probably be a part of the figure skating team. But for me, I would love to do the skeleton. Have you ever seen that where they're like laying?
Dude,
Like
same
front
thing, dude.
Yeah, we know you'd like to do
Front-facing.
skeleton,
They're
Ryan.
flying downhill.
You would do
1,000
doubles where you're the
miles
guy
an hour.
on top, wouldn't you,
Yeah.
Ryan?
Yeah.
That's not what
You
that
would-
one is.
Yeah, Ryan, you qualify for
That one's a
doubles where you're the
single
guy
event.
on top. Doubles,
That's a
skeleton,
single event.
Ryan Sayers on top. That's a great episode
This
for
guy
you,
got
does
it,
not
brother.
like his figure.
got
Here
the
we go.
thing.
See, I love it. You tried to come at me, and
He
I
did
flipped it
not
right
like
back
his
on you,
fingers.
right? Aaron, Fear Factor. You got to be on the show. What is the thing that's designed to break you? What would what
Dude, a
would
lot of
be
stuff.
Have you been watching the new one? Everybody has.
No, I just thought about
No.
this.
It's amazing.
I'll check
Dude,
it out.
I don't think I could stomach pretty much anything on that show, man. The old Joe Rogan style. I mean, they're eating testicles and
Watch
stuff.
the new one. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
I don't even think for any amount of money. I'm to the point in my life where I'm like, I'm good with what I got. Like, I don't need
Johnny
like
Knoxville's
100 grand.
Post it, and it's wild.
Not
I saw
well.
a little bit of like a one. Yeah.
So like, what wouldn't I do? I mean, a lot of the food stuff would be tough. Dude, almost anything on that show is like not my cup of tea.
It's the
Like-
the spiders and the creepy crawlies for me. You
Well, of
start
course.
dumping them on my face in a closed container, it's over.
They have a little bit of that. You guys
Yeah.
got to go watch it.
I
When
will,
we
I will,
reconvene
I
next
will.
week,
See it.
we'll talk about it. You
I
got
was
to go on Hulu. and
Trying to
watch
think of some different things
it.
we haven't asked before.
My wife and I, that's our favorite thing to watch now is the new Fear Factor. Like we wait weekly on it. It actually comes out, I think, tonight. We end up watching it tomorrow because we record on Wednesday. But the craziest one to me was they were literally like stuck inside plastic.
I saw that one. That's the only one I saw. They
And they
sucked
could-
all the air out. Yeah.
Oh, that would freak me out so bad.
terrible.
But then like eating anything, like they did one where they like you got to spin the wheel and you land on 3 things and they blend those 3 things up.
Ugh.
It's like pig balls and like
No
goat
way.
stomach and and you
I
got to
just-
drink the whole thing.
We'll
Ugh.
keep the
just
show
said it, man.
PG where we could have taken that. Go ahead. Next question here, Ryan.
It's real. It's it's bad. Hey, Aaron, I don't know. This is kind of a question that we ask a lot of the coaches that we've had on is, who's somebody they look up to and who's like a mentor to them throughout the coaching world, because that's kind of what we're in, right? I was going to kind of flip that to you. Is there somebody that's like a mentor to you, or is there somebody that really motivated you to get into the position that you're in now where you're really bought into the high school realm of things and you're doing it for the kids? Like what made you do that, I guess, or who was your
Is more a mentor from just like entrepreneurship and the fact that was an option in life. When I got out of college, I wasn't good enough to be on TV right away. So I actually worked at a local print shop in Cambridge, Ohio. It was called Speedy Print. And the owner there, is a local shop. I never knew anyone that owned a business. So I got to work in that business and saw how he ran it with a very laid back attitude, saw the things he was able to enjoy life with freedom and time, and just how he treated people and how he treated me and supported, my dreams, whether it was eventually going to work at the TV station or then I left the TV station and went back to the print shop to try to develop Storied Rivals. And he was very supportive of that, knowing that that's what I was going to do. So just being able to see that firsthand, even though it wasn't media related, but just to see like how to think outside the box and create something for yourself. So a lot of it's business related. I don't think there's anybody necessarily media related because everything we've done is kind of just on our own, like making it up. But I will say there are a ton of entrepreneurs, I look up to early in my career in 2008 when Gary Vaynerchuk's first book came out, Crush It. Read that, really kept me going, inspired me to keep going. Yeah, motivational speakers early in my career like Eric Thomas.
The hip hop preacher,
Yeah, man.
great
baby.
animal?
So Eric Thomas, we actually brought him in as a speaker one time at one of our events early on. Spent a lot of money for a lot of people to not show up, but it was cool to have him in our town and have him speak before he really got big.
Mickey Johnson's one of my favorites too. That if you're looking
Yeah,
at-
absolutely. So I think from a media standpoint, from a broadcasting, looked up to the ESPN guys, but from like this creation standpoint, I'm not sure I even know any like studs. I grew up watching, I think where some of the inspiration came from was growing up watching Inside the NFL on HBO. So as a kid, we didn't really have much money, but somehow, some way, we had like a trial of HBO. They never turned off on our box. So I always had HBO. And I remember on Friday nights before I went to my dad's, I would watch Inside the NFL. And Inside the NFL was each game from the week before, but the cinematic cut from the sidelines with the voice, welcome to Frozen Lambeau Field, right? That stuff. And it was like the sideline cam when it was the storytelling. And that's what I always remember. It's the storytelling, guys. That's it. And anyone that tells stories has kind of inspired us. So long answer, but definitely the entrepreneur route is the people I look up to, the people that can grind every day. Like this is a grind to keep going, guys. This is my full-time job. my employee's full-time job, and payday comes every 2 weeks, no matter what. So how do you make sure there's enough money in there to keep everyone paid? And how do you generate more revenue so you can pay them more and what they deserve? So that's the stress. So that's the media stuff takes care of itself. That's the fun side. It's the entrepreneurial side that definitely you need some guidance.
Aaron, my second question for you. If you had to pick up shop, you don't have to start over, right? Everything you got kind of branding wise, revenue wise, you name it. You got to pick up shop and you got to start over in any city in the US. It's not Columbus. Which city are you picking?
Can I still doing sports stuff?
Everything. Yep. Everything. It's like you step in, you got the same media presence, but you get to pick up shop and pick your next city.
Maybe Austin, Texas.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
football's big in Texas.
Little barbecue review before games. There's a lot of content ideas you could crush it down
love
there.
barbecue. And I'll be honest, guys, like what we cover it's different. When we cover the OCC, it's a different thing. When we cover in Southeast Ohio, it's a different thing. Meaning, like, there are different levels of engagement with the fans. There are different levels of views of people that carry. And I don't have any 5-stars in Southeast Ohio. We got future NFL guys in the OCC. So it's a different. And when I say that, like, so say I went to Austin, I could go to Austin, but I feel like for Storied Rivals to be successful, the key would be go an hour outside of Austin.
Yeah.
Get the suburbs and then build into the city. Even though the city, technically the schools are larger, maybe there's bigger budgets and stuff like that. You want to build from the passion first and then maybe go the other way. But that's a good question. I think there's a lot of good spots in the US, especially for football. You know, maybe somewhere in Florida would be cool. But the Midwest ain't bad. I don't like rainy Fridays, but there's a good mix of weather types.
And like you said, it gets a little cold there late when you're covering the old Tangy Oranges and teams. But last question for me, I'm gonna make it quick because I want to get into the meat and potatoes. You travel all over. Best pizza. What's the best pizza you had? Where do you recommend somebody to?
Dude, I had a really good one. Well, one, I got to shout out my buddies in Cambridge, Ohio, another Cambridge spot, but Downtown Arena. They have great freaking pizza. That's more local to me, so I can get there quite often. And then out of town, recently this season, I hit up a place called Amici's in West Lafayette, home of the Ridgewood Generals. Got it like to go, and it was way better than I thought it would be. It was solid. Here's what I'm running into a lot of times. If I don't eat before the game, nothing's open after. Like since COVID, everything closes at like 10.
Yeah.
Pizza places are closing at Friday on 10. So if I don't plan ahead and get there early, I can't get the pizza. Yeah.
Love it. We spent a lot of time on this. We learned a lot about his stuff, but I can't wait to dive into more about this inside story. Let's get into it.
Main topic tonight, powered by First Down Playbook. First Down Playbook is the nation's leading playbook and play design software with over 35,000 professionally drawn, editable team plays with notes and full playbooks. Start from the on our way to getting edge over the competition. They can be your entire team management system with practice schedules, quarterback wristbands, and more. The code is headsets26 for 15% off what's already the most affordable option in today's game. It's all over our Twitter, their account as well. Hit them up through there. Reach out to us directly. Happy to get you set up. They're a great option. We kind of got your background a little bit, Aaron, with Storied Rivals. I guess one of the first questions from in here, we kind of learned a little bit of the story. Tell us the story or kind of the idea behind your name, Storied Rivals. Where did that start from? What was, is there an idea that sparked it, or was it just kind of, hey, I want to stand out in this way?
Yeah. So it started as one, I'm really into music. So I'm like, man, if I ever had a band, that'd be a cool name for a band. Right. So then when I realized I'm not a musician in any way, and that was just a weird thing, I thought of like, if I had a company, Storied Rivals, and what that means is it comes from like the Ohio State, Michigan thing. A storied rivalry. When you have a storied rivalry, there's a lot of stories. There's a lot of things in that, and not everyone has to be a rival, obviously, but it's the storytelling of sports, and that's just what it became, man. And then the domain was available, everything was available for it. Was able to snatch it up, and we rolled with it. Got it trademarked. Spent that money, did the proper procedures to get that all the boxes checked, but that's really just it. Was just, what is the product? What we want people to, again, have memories, tell the stories, be cinematic.
Coach, who was the first school that you guys had? First ever school you ever signed a deal with?
Yeah, so it's funny. It was my alma mater, John Glenn High School, 2008. I guess what's funny is we didn't even have a business. It was like, here's like this idea I kind of got. Would you guys want a video? And it wasn't until like week 4 when they're like, yeah, we'll do it. And I charge them, dude. It was like nothing. But it was the only thing I had going. I was still working my job. I was like, well, I'll go on Friday nights and film football. And we did it. But I didn't know what I was making. I had no idea I'd never made a Storied Rivals video before. So didn't know all the stuff I was shooting. I mean, I knew how to film because I came from TV, but then sat down. I remember I didn't even know what to buy, guys. I mean, when I was at the TV station, we were editing tape to tape still. So I had minimal editing experience with a computer. So I had to figure out Apple PC, what editing software, what camera to buy. Dude, it all happened. And then I bought. So basically, once the team said we will do it, I'm like, I better buy some stuff. Right. So then went and bought some stuff and got started. And that was the other thing. Like everything kind of happens for a reason. Like without the TV job, like when all these first teams I signed in the Muskingum Valley League, all the coaches knew me from my job at TV. So it was an easy transition. And then once one trusted me, the other did. And that's how we grew the base, was just leveraging connections and, and having treated people right in my past job. You treat them right. They're like, yeah, this sounds good. What is this? We'll support you. And dude, that support means the freaking world. People to blindly support you, and some big name coaches that, trusted us. I mean, dude, no one went in locker rooms before we did. That was not a thing. I mean, that's a sacred place. And some coaches still don't want us in there, and that's fine. That's their call. It's their video. But I'm like, look, we're gonna capture this. We're gonna make you look good. And to be honest, man, I've been around hundreds of coaches. Coaches are good to kids. I mean, they might cuss under their breath. Coaches aren't saying bad stuff to kids. They're not. So I really don't even have to protect them that much. But also in today's soft world, you get up in a kid and people, think it looks bad. But
Yeah,
no, we
just thinking about it. I've been mic'd up. Other people have mic'd up. You do a phenomenal job making everybody look great. But there's an archive somewhere that could be a reel if it really wanted to be.
There is an archive for sure.
I knew there was. I'm mic'd up. I'm peeing. I'm talking in the mic. I'm sure even there's something on me in the past. Like I can only imagine.
But I always tell coaches, like we have a couple coaches that we filmed for a long time. I said, look, and they say funny stuff, dude. I'm like, at the end of your career, when you're safe and retired, we're going to do a roast. The biggest fundraiser ever for this football team. And I'm going to dig in the archive. I'm going to pull out everything.
Yeah, right. The reel you could pull out, it would be out of control. And we already talked, Coach, as a coach, man. It's just so it happens. I'm gonna call him boss.
Yeah.
We already talked a little bit about your background stuff, and you talk a lot about the early. We talked about like when it became a true thing. But was there an early moment or a point that you realized like this is a thing? We got something. Like what was that maybe? Probably you had a business.
I think when we decided to take the jump. So when we first started, I considered us a production company. So when we were a production company, we were just producing a film and giving it to the team at the end of the season. We weren't publishing weekly. We weren't adding the music. And when I realized that I was sitting on all this content, I'm like, we could publish this after the game, get viewers, and maybe sell advertising. I mean, we're a media company. And that's when I realized we could have a lot of reach. And you start running numbers. If I charge this, how do you generate revenue? So I enjoy the business side, the figuring that stuff out. But yeah, just the feedback you get, man. It's a dopamine hit, right? When someone says, man, that's so sick, it makes you feel good. I mean, that's what we work for when we edit. We want people to comment and just know that we made their day or we captured that special moment. That's the dopamine that keeps you going. Because guys, I mean, I know this is a business too. When you run a business, like you want to quit literally every day. You want to quit every freaking day. And that's just the truth of it. When you're in it, when you're in the trenches, it is rough. But what keeps you going is the other side of it. It's just the other side. Same thing why you keep coaching. Rough year. I don't think I could do it again. Yeah, but I can figure this out. I can figure it out. We can win. Right? I mean, it's the same thing with us.
You're speaking full transparencies. Like, honestly, like my closest friends probably know a lot of what has been weighing on me in the past year. But I went through a couple month long journey process, rediscovering myself if I was going to continue to coach. and wrote myself a coaching contract and these maxims about
That's cool.
like things that were going to guardrail the way I behave and act. And just because, like what you said, it evolves. And same thing with this business, like 614 Headsets, we're in season 4. We've seen our team grow and have more kids, and things have gotten more difficult. And do we keep doing this? Is it a hobby? Is it something we love? Like, we've gone through a lot of those struggles, like what you said. And so it's important for people to know that. I saw something the other day where it was like, the roads littered with like people who never started and people quit along the way. You know what I
Right.
mean? I thought that was interesting. So getting into this being a coaching podcast, right? And you have been in a unique perspective of getting to be a part of so many locker rooms and so many championship runs and things. What do you think is there anything that separated those championship teams or those championship programs above others? Like if I'm a coach, which is our audience a lot, right? And I'm listening to this and I want to focus on something. What have you noticed in those teams or those programs?
Yeah, guys, it's really simple. One, like I told you, I'm not a coach, so I can never coach X's and O's. I hear all you guys coaching in my head. I'm listening to you coach. I don't know what plays I don't understand any of that stuff. But what I pick up on is the culture. And the culture, the certain culture type that wins. One, you got to have good, unselfish kids. Create them. Find a way to get them in line. If they quit, maybe they quit. But you got to have good culture kids, great teammates, and you got to have some dudes, of course. But you just have the good culture, and you got to lead by example, right? So Ryan, you're a passionate coach. You're high energy. Guess what? Your kids are going to be that way too. So if you want that, good. If you don't want that, not good, because they're gonna mimic what you do, right? And each style is different, and you may evolve into a less hype coach later on in your career. But I've seen the pros and cons of those things. Following the coach by example, guys, it's the culture, it's the love for each other. The best teams I've seen, yeah, I mean, they have dudes, but they also just buy in and get it, especially at the small school level. Like when you go to the MAC conference, you got those teams like a Coldwater winning without necessarily D1 dudes. That's culture. Kirtland, that's culture. Those are the formulas all day. I mean, even a school like Licking Valley that's won consistently under Randy Boffin, it's culture. They don't always have dudes, but they always win 8 or 9 games. I got to give a shout out to my guy. I love all the coaches. Man, Coach Buttermore, I love that guy at UA. He's done a lot for me personally, but he's just a dog. He has won everywhere he's went, and he's someone that I've really studied over the years and kind of watched, like, how does this guy win with sometimes minimal talent? He doesn't have the dudes other teams have, but he wins. Guys, I saw him beat Sonny Styles and Pick Central in a regional final. Sonny Styles looked like an NFL player as a junior in high school before he early enrolled at Ohio State, and UA beat them without any dudes that looked like Sonny Styles.
I just said it because the week before he rolled through us, right? Regional semifinal at Newark. I think I just talked about this like a week or two on the show. Or maybe been off camera. We were talking about
just talked about it. For some reason, Buttermore came out. You were like, he's just
not even the Buttermore stuff, but like, yes, agreed to the Buttermore stuff, but just agreeing to two. Like, people don't recognize the dog Sonny Styles was as a junior, and he wrecked us. We had a great team that year too. So you're bringing up some common things we've talked about recently.
Right. And I talk about him just because I covered him at Tri-Valley. I mean, 2009, he was one of our first clients, all the way through Tri-Valley, Granville, and now Upper Arlington. So I've been around him more than anybody. Again, I respect every coach, but just seeing what he's done consistently and then kind of studying what is it though? Of course, he's a great football mind too. I mean, first and foremost, he understands football. He can break down a defense like nobody's business, but he's also a culture guy. Dude, I've seen him lose in a state championship game. All right, guys. Yep, it sucks. Like, no long speech. No, all right. It's been fun. He might have shed a partial tear when his kids were seniors, but he's just a football guy, man. Just keeps it in perspective. It's a game. We had fun. We tried our best. Back to the drawing board tomorrow. So, and it works.
Coach,
but yeah, to answer your question, that's what I've seen.
For you guys, like, obviously kind of piggybacking off this, like, you see a ton of it. You see it every week. You get to hear it every single week. Who, and you just said it for me, who's the juice guy? Who has the most juice in their pregame speeches for you? Like,
all right.
When you stand and
listen. All right, man. So the juice of juice, and it's Chad Grandstaff. He was the coach at Zanesville. He's been out of the game a couple years. He's now coaching here at Foxfire High School.
He started that program, you know?
He did. It's been fun. But dude, him in the locker room, I tell him this day, some of my passwords on some of my my bank account stuff are things he said in the locker room. Like that's how juiced up, just over the top. Like he'll be crying, just getting people pumped up. I can hear him now. He even calls it, he says he speaks in ghetto twang is what he said. He calls it, that's what he calls it. His speech is ghetto twang. He's like a little bit of ghetto, a little bit country. But he brings the juice. So he's really hype. A lot of these other guys, man, they're not too over the top. They're not, they're not run through the wall type of guys. And I miss that. But also, man, I love the seriousness of some of these guys. Like Coach Ward doesn't say much, right? Keeps it simple. He's strictly business, which I like. I appreciate.
Let's take a pause on Coach Ward. Let's give everybody a behind the scenes what happens in the Gahanna Lincoln program. So Coach Ward will give a talk or two, and not many people know this, but Coach Ward will pick somebody to give the pregame talk, and nobody knows who's getting picked.
Mm-hmm.
And so Donovan and a few coaches will run around with a betting line, and they will create a betting line on who they think the coach is for that night that is going to give the pregame speech. And we all kind of walk around and we bet who's going to give it and see who it is. So the majority of the time, it's a complete random. Coach Ward tells you it's your night and you're up, and I'm always up in the press box, so I kind of miss it most of the time unless I tell Coach Ward, hey, I got it tonight, man, But I just always, hey, who gave the speech, and see if the betting line matched. So that's a little behind the scenes inside our program.
Groveport game.
I'm glad you guys are doing betting behind scenes of your guys' public school program. But go ahead.
It's like a fun betting. There's no cash on the turf. We're talking about creating lines here.
I was just making sure.
Groveport game, we were walking back, and Bruce goes, you feeling good? And I'm like, yeah, coach, feel good. He goes, great. You got the pregame speech. I'm like, okay, nice. 10 minutes left before the game starts. I'm like, all right.
I will say, I think Coach Ward is a top 5 coach that I've seen that really trusts his assistants too. I mean, he hires good people and he trusts them. I mean, he is a very just kind of he's managing what's going on, right? He's analyzing, he's making sure you're doing your job, but he is not afraid to delegate, it seems like. And that's really cool to see. It's definitely like I said, a top 5 or a very rare style that I've seen when comparatively speaking.
It's interesting to see the pressure build as the season goes on and who's spoken, who hasn't spoken.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Ward is one of the most superstitious people I've ever met. So if we lost a game where you gave the pregame speech, you might not be in the rotation for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I feel that. I understand that.
Yeah, it comes down to clothing and everything with this guy. So Aaron, just kind of, one last thing thinking about it, man, just tell us, what's your vision with Storied Rivals in the future? We already talked about how you're an OG. We want people to understand that you're more than just a media company, right? It's this, people don't realize all the great things you do with apparel and your designs and things. So kind of just take a last moment. What do you hope people get from this episode moving forward? Where are you taking Storied Rivals in the future? How do you continue to stay at the top, which we're all trying to do as coaches too?
Yeah. So what's funny is we've been doing this, like I said, almost 20 years, and we're still starting. I mean, we're a startup. There's so many things I want to try, so many things I want to implement, still tweaking the business model every day. I mean, like I told you guys beforehand, we're going to switch some things up on how we approach this next season to change it up. But also when we talk about growing a business and where we want to end up, man, I could easily be 1 or 2 guys, probably make a decent living. And that for some reason in my head, the thing I'm chasing is changing the game. I envisioned this from day one as being this national entity. That's why it's not called Aaron's Videos. I wanted it to have a big time feel. You're man, these guys are legit. I mean, I think our product matches that. And I think the name has that big time feel. I mean, I would love the idea of perfecting the business model, being able to franchise it to people like me that have a similar background that could drive it. Because I think a lot of people are interested in doing what we do, and they don't know how to do it to where you can have 10 full-time people, right? So how does that work? I would love to create an educational course and get into schools and teach kids in schools how to do what we do, because there is a method to what we do. It's not accidents. We have processes we follow and just guidelines we look to. So I would love to create some type of educational thing going forward. And I mean, we're, from a video standpoint, like we are really capped out on what we can cover. I mean, we got 25 plus cameras out on a Friday night. We have all these editors going, and to be honest, we're kind of getting burnt out. To be honest, I mean, fall was a freaking gauntlet, just like it is for you guys. So we're trying to figure out what does that look like? How do we tweak the product? I mean, we spend so much time editing games, like a full day to edit one game, full day. We're paying music licensing fees. Of course, we're a legit business. We're paying all the different taxes and whatnot. But I think we want to continue to grow. As stupid as that sounds like exhausting, but I want to figure it out to where it continues to be a thing where everyone can have what we have. I truly believe what we do and the way we do it doesn't exist anywhere else. I mean, some people may think that sounds cocky or arrogant. I mean, I think it's kind of factual. I mean, maybe there's someone else out there, but under one roof with 10 full-time employees editing all day, every day. And we're filming almost 700 games for a school year under one roof, full games, full edits and highlights. So we've sustained this long, which says something, but we're not done yet. And just a shout out to, on that side of the business, our staff is insane. People see me because they know me, but without our staff, like they're unbelievable. I mean, they're crazy talented. They'll probably eventually move on to other things, but they'll take the skills they learned from us and go to the next spot. We've had a lot of guys end up a lot of big places that started with us that we kind of groomed and they went to the next spot. But our team is good, guys. They're freaking good, real good. They put out some great stuff. And of course, as you guys know, just the support back home, support, being a coach's wife is one thing. Being my wife is, dude, it's insane. It's insane. Just not only just helping take care of the kids, but just the support, the blind support, not asking like, are you ever going to make money? Are you ever going to like not work every day? No, it's just like, I get it. I trust that this is going to work out, it's good to know that you don't have to worry about that, right? That you have that type of support at home. But then from the apparel standpoint, get into that real quick, guys. Your team needs better merch. The video stuff's fun. This is the game changer for us. We're really good at merch. Team player packs, team fundraiser stores. We do it really well. And I'm damn near ready to pass out a guarantee that we deliver on time. There's a lot of people in the space that do not deliver on time. Not even freaking close. We deliver on time. Hopefully that's important to people when they choose their apparel provider. And if we can't deliver on time, we'll let you know before the transaction ever starts. We'll say, what do you need? Yeah, that ain't possible. Instead of saying, yep, give me your money and then disappoint you later. We deliver on time. We have really, really good designs, really good products, really good customer service. We take care of people. And if you're doing the fundraiser with us, you're going to make some decent money too. So I don't think there's any other option for that. You don't have to be a video client to run an apparel store with us, whether it's high school football, a different sport, could be any part of the country really. But if you like our videos, then you'll like our gear, because we approach it with the same attention to detail, the same product quality. So yeah, that's kind of, I could talk all day about it, because as you can see,
still one of my favorite apparel orders we've ever run. Every time I look at the black on black that work that Storied Rivals did for us, it is my favorite. But man, we just want to say thank you, Aaron and Storied Rivals, for just being a trusted partner, a premier partner for us, a partner that we try to tell everybody, we're talking about. This is the premier, not only just media company, the OGs in the area, but don't forget about, like what you said, you don't have to be a media partner to do the apparel and all the cool things. And you and I off camera have talked about the design process and who's in it and stuff. And, you talked about your team and Will Ford with Stadium Drive and all that. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there's my pregame bathroom rituals, retweeting out Stadium Drive a little bit at times, just to keep spreading the love for the crew as we're getting started, and they do a great job. But Ryan, go ahead and wrap this thing up for us, man.
Aaron, first, thank you. We appreciate you, obviously, and everything that you do for Central Ohio sports, but then also us as a business ourselves. We don't really look at it as like a business. It's not like we're out here trying to hustle to make money to feed our families. Really, we enjoy what we do, but your support of us and being a sponsor of the program from the jump of everything has been amazing for us, and we appreciate you in that regard. But also thank you for coming on and hopping on and like letting everybody know what you guys are about. And then our listeners also, thank you guys for listening. Make sure you download, subscribe, do all the things to ensure that we continue to grow this thing, along with dig into the magazine. I've had a ton of great reviews, like Kyle said, about our new magazine. I think it's going to continue to grow and be a great thing for us and a great asset for coaches. So,
hey, let me pump you guys up real quick, because this is a business and this does have legs, and you guys are doing it because it's fun. And I think it's a great resource for coaches. I don't know if any other coach podcast has been doing it like you guys have been doing it. You're bringing in different guests, you're bringing in different topics. I think it's a great thing. So keep getting better, keep tweaking. Think of it as a business a little bit, because I think it does have legs. I think it could be big for you guys. So keep at it and just keep tweaking, man.
Let's keep crushing it together, baby. Let's roll. Right? All right. Appreciate everybody.
Thank you guys.